For RPG enthusiasts, the timelessness of a game lies in its storytelling and characters. Classic titles, such as those on this list, have always been ahead of their time and have continued to be popular among fans. With remasters, these excellent games can be revisited on newer hardware, allowing for a new generation of players to experience why these games are still highly regarded. Let's jump right in. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII. If you were to see the newly rebuilt character models of Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, you might think it's either a full remake or a new game in the series. However, despite the updated graphics, it's actually a faithful remaster of the original PSP game. Reunion delves into the story of Zack, his friendship with Cloud, and his interactions with characters such as Aerith, Sephiroth, and his mentor Angeal. It also offers a deeper look into the war with Wutai and the cloning experiments that lead up to the events in the main game. For fans eagerly awaiting the release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Reunion serves as the perfect interim experience. Tales of Symphonia. Tales of Symphonia, one of GameCube's most critically acclaimed RPGs, introduced many players to one of today's most popular JRPG series. Despite its cute character designs, Symphonia is known for its darker themes among the Tales series. The game was first remastered in HD for the PS3, bundled together with the less popular sequel, Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World. The cel-shaded visuals and pre-rendered backdrops were beautifully upscaled in HD, and the story remains as powerful as when it first released. Fans can look forward to a new remaster of the first title in the Symphonia series, set to release in February 2023 for PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. Persona 4. When it was first released on the PS2, Persona 4 quickly established itself as one of the greatest JRPGs of all time. Players take on the role of a high school student who finds themselves embroiled in a supernatural murder mystery full of unexpected twists, turns, and betrayals. The game's unique blend of social simulation and dungeon crawling gameplay, as well as its memorable cast of characters, have made it a cult classic among RPG fans. In 2012, Persona 4 was remastered with additional content and released as Persona 4 Golden for the PS Vita, providing fans with an even more immersive experience. It was then later released on PC in 2020, which granted a new audience to the game. And now in 2023, fans of PS4, Switch, and Xbox Series XS will finally get their hands on a Persona 4 port, which will enable them to experience the game in a whole new way. Chrono Cross. The release of Chrono Cross was highly anticipated by fans of the beloved Chrono Trigger, and the sequel was tasked with living up to the legacy of its predecessor. While the game's story and gameplay may be quite different, Chrono Cross boasts an unparalleled atmosphere, thanks to its stunning art direction and one of the best video game soundtracks of all time. Those who can tune into its unique wavelength will be treated to a truly unforgettable experience. Recently, it was remastered and re-released as Chrono Cross The Radical Dreamers Edition, which included an HD remaster of the game and the visual novel, Radical Dreamers. This side story to Chrono Trigger was originally released for the Japan-only Satellaview peripheral, and this marks the first official Western release, for a game that many thought would never see the light of day outside of Japan. The remaster, therefore, not only provides a new way to experience the game but also offers a new way to discover the side story. Star Ocean, The Last Hope. Star Ocean The Last Hope is not a game that is often considered the best in its series, with that title generally given to its PS1 predecessor, Star Ocean The Second Story. However, it is still definitely worth a second look. Like its predecessors, it sets itself apart with its unique science fantasy setting and action-packed combat. It introduces an extra satisfying blindside mechanic, making its battles more frantic and fun. It was remastered in 2017, and released for the PS4 and PC as the HD remaster of the game. This remaster brought several improvements, such as the ability to toggle between English and Japanese voice tracks, and a host of display options. One of the most notable improvements is that it fixed the biggest flaw, its horrendous English voice acting. With these improvements, there's no reason not to check out the game, especially if you're a fan of the series or the genre. Valkyria Chronicles. Valkyria Chronicles is an incredibly unique tactical RPG that was initially launched for the PS3. Despite not becoming a massive commercial success, it has gained a dedicated following due to its striking art style, intricate gameplay mechanics, and thought-provoking, morally complex story. The game is set in an alternate version of mid-century Europe, where players take on the role of a small military squad working to defend their country against an invading foreign army. The lovable characters add to the game's melancholic tone, as players can permanently lose them in battle if they're not careful. The remastered edition includes the original game's DLC, but it wisely leaves the core gameplay untouched, allowing players to experience the game as it was originally intended. Additionally, the remastered edition also boasts improved graphics, which adds to the already beautiful art style and provides players with a more immersive experience. With its deep and engaging storyline and unique gameplay, Valkyria Chronicles continues to be celebrated by fans of the RPG genre. Nier Replicant. The story of Nier Replicant is a peculiar one. It is one of two versions of the game that was released in Japan, but it never made it to the Western market. Instead, the version that was released in the West, known as Nier Gestalt, featured a different main character and some variations in the plot. So the remastered version of Nier Replicant, known as Nier Replicant ver.1224744871139, yeah, it's a mouthful, is a bit of a mystery to Western players. It could be considered a beloved classic or a brand new experience, depending on one's perspective. Regardless of how one views it, the remaster of Nier Replicant is a great opportunity to experience a cult classic. The sequel, Nier Automata, refined many of Replicant's ideas, but the original game packs an experimental punch and a unique atmosphere that is only enhanced by its rough edges. The remastered version of the game also includes updated graphics and gameplay, which makes it more accessible for new players and provides a fresh experience for fans of the game. It is also a great way to experience the story before diving into the more refined Nier Automata. Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenoblade Chronicles was not initially planned to be released in the Western market. The Wii-exclusive RPG, which is considered a spiritual successor to Tetsuya Takahashi's classics, Xenogears, and Xenosaga, was only made available worldwide due to a concerted effort by passionate fans. And it's a good thing that it was, as Xenoblade Chronicles is now considered a modern classic in the RPG genre. It combines elements of traditional JRPGs, such as a grand adventure, a breathtaking soundtrack, and a diverse group of heroes who learn the importance of trust and friendship over the course of a journey that spans dozens of hours, with world design and combat mechanics inspired by MMOs. However, the game's vast world suffered from being constrained by the limitations of the Wii's hardware. Thankfully, the definitive edition, which was released on the Switch, brings it into the HD present and allows players to fully immerse themselves in the game's massive and captivating world. Dragon Quest III: The Seeds of Salvation. Did you know that this series is so big in Japan that once a new Dragon Quest game is released, tons of students will play hooky from school just to buy and play the game? Some people even joke that the government now requires new games in the Dragon Quest series to be released on weekends. This gives you an idea of the level of impact and popularity that the game had and still holds. Dragon Quest III was a game changer for the series. It introduced a day-night cycle and an unprecedented level of open-world freedom. Its epic scale set the template for the RPG genre going forward. While the game is getting a remake in the style of Square's HD 2D RPGs, fans can still enjoy a modern remaster that preserves the game's top-down charm. The remaster allows fans to experience it in a new way while still holding on to the original charm. Grandia. The original Grandia was released during a time when it faced several challenges. For instance, it was launched as an exclusive for Sega's unfortunately underperforming Saturn console, and it was developed by Game Arts during a time when Square dominated the RPG genre. Furthermore, its combination of 2D sprites and 3D environments seemed less impressive when compared to other games that were opting for fully 3D graphics. Despite these obstacles, Grandia emerged victorious as it is simply a great game. The battle system is a unique hybrid of turn-based and real-time mechanics, which makes it incredibly fun to play. Its lighthearted and adventurous tone stands out among a sea of more serious RPGs. In 2019, an HD remaster was released for PC and the Switch, making it a perfect time to discover this classic. The remastered version allows players to experience it with updated graphics and gameplay, making it more accessible to new players while also providing a fresh experience for fans of the game.
Always watching, so
Shin Megami Tensei III, Nocturne. While this game is well known for featuring Dante from Devil May Cry, it is also renowned for many other reasons. It follows the story of a regular high school student who is transformed into a powerful demi-fiend after surviving the apocalypse. As the player travels through the ruined world, they encounter different demons who espouse different philosophies, and the choices that the player makes will determine the way of thinking that will govern the new world. This is an interesting take on the typical save-the-world plot, and the game's HD remaster, which was released last year, elevates the game with high-resolution textures, voice acting, and even an easy mode. This allows players to fully immerse themselves in the game's unique story and experience it in a new way. It is also known for its challenging gameplay and the ability to recruit demons and build a party, making it a game that appeals to both RPG and SMT fans. It is worth experiencing for its unique story, challenging gameplay, and ability to shape the world according to the player's choices. Star Ocean, First Departure. Tri-Ace Star Ocean series has lost some of its popularity in recent years, which makes it hard to remember the time when these games were truly worth seeking out. However, the remastered port of Star Ocean First Departure R serves as a reminder that the series can stand up with the best in the RPG genre. At the time of its release, Star Ocean set itself apart from other games in the genre with its sci-fi leanings, as the title refers to outer space, and its fast-paced, real-time battle system. While these features may not be as unique today, it still serves as a delicious slice of classic RPG comfort food. The remastered version also includes updated graphics and gameplay, which provides players with a fresh experience while still preserving the original charm. Its unique story, engaging gameplay, and strong characters make it a game worth experiencing for both fans of the series and newcomers to the genre. Resonance of Fate. While Star Ocean provides a sense of familiarity and comfort, Tri-Ace's other remastered RPG, Resonance of Fate, is a truly unique and distinct game. Resonance of Fate was initially overlooked when it was first released, as it was launched in direct competition with Final Fantasy XIII. However, it deserves to be reconsidered and rediscovered. Its most notable and compelling feature is its incredibly deep and intricate battle system, which is built around the use of firearms. It can be quite difficult to find in physical form, but the remastered version is available on the PlayStation Store. It is well worth the purchase, as players will be able to execute some of the most cinematic and visually impressive moves in any RPG. The game's striking steampunk setting also provides a beautifully gloomy and atmospheric backdrop for the action. The unique battle system, striking visuals and engaging story make it a must-play for RPG fans. Saga Frontier. The Saga series is highly regarded and beloved in Japan, but its non-linear approach to storytelling has not been as well received in the West. This is unfortunate, as these games are fascinating experiments in RPG structure that have laid the foundation for modern-day hits such as Octopath Traveler and Fire Emblem Three Houses, which feature branching story paths that respond to players' choices. Saga Frontier is one of the games that pioneered this approach, with 8 different stories to play and a narrative that changes dynamically in response to the player's decisions. It surpasses its modern descendants in terms of replayability. Its HD remaster includes a host of quality-of-life improvements, making it clear that it was far ahead of its time. The multiple storylines, dynamic narrative, and adaptable gameplay make it a must-play for RPG fans, and the remastered version allows players to experience the game with updated graphics and gameplay, making it more accessible to new players while also providing a fresh experience.
Sink or swim in this world.
Tales of Vesperia. Tales games are well known for providing a satisfying blend of character-driven RPG gameplay, and Tales of Vesperia is considered one of the best entries in the popular series. Originally released as an Xbox 360 exclusive, Tales of Vesperia represents a solid middle ground between earlier classics like Tales of Symphonia and newer hits like Tales of Arise. The battle system in Vesperia is not as complex as the latter, but it introduces freedom of movement and a sense of weight that surpasses the former. Additionally, the cel-shaded graphics look even better in the definitive edition, an upscaled remaster for modern consoles. The game's engaging story, memorable characters, and dynamic combat system make it a must-play for RPG fans, and the remastered version allows players to experience the game with updated graphics and gameplay. Legend of Mana. The PS1 era was home to many classic RPGs that pushed the boundaries of what the genre could do, and Legend of Mana is a shining example. Players take on the role of a young hero tasked with recreating the world by placing different artifacts onto an empty map. Each artifact generates a new location with new characters and quests, giving players the power to shape and create the game's layout however they choose. Additionally, the way players progress through the story will change depending on the placement of artifacts, meaning that no two players will experience the game the same way. The excellent soundtrack and beautiful 2D graphics, which are further enhanced in the HD remaster, make it a true classic. The remastered version allows players to experience the game with updated graphics and gameplay. Kingdom Hearts. As the Kingdom Hearts series has become increasingly divisive over the years, one thing that is undeniable is that the series' second console installment, Kingdom Hearts II, is a true classic. The game was released late in the PS2's lifespan, and it boasts some of the highest production values of any game on the system, including vibrant and colorful graphics, detailed character animations, top-notch voice acting, and an outstanding soundtrack. It also improves upon the series' strengths by focusing on its fast-paced combat system and challenging boss battles, rather than on finicky platforming and puzzle solving. The HD 2.5 remix offers an even better way to experience the game, with upscaled graphics, new content, and the inclusion of the PSP entry Birth by Sleep, making it the definitive version of an already excellent game. Final Fantasy IX. When it comes to the beloved Final Fantasy series, opinions on the best installment can vary greatly among players. However, one game that consistently receives high praise is Final Fantasy IX. Unlike the other PS1 entries in the series, FF9 presents a more old-fashioned approach, with a colorful and emotional storyline that follows a princess in distress and her band of unlikely companions. It is filled with Easter eggs for die-hard Final Fantasy fans, but its simpler mechanics and easy-to-follow story make it just as appealing for those new to the series. The HD remaster, which includes various quality-of-life improvements, makes the game more accessible than ever. If you're a fan of RPGs, Final Fantasy IX is a must-play and there are no excuses not to. Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is a classic 16-bit JRPG that has stood the test of time. Developed by some of the genre's biggest names, including Yuji Horii and Hironobu Sakaguchi, it features a unique time travel story, memorable characters, and snappy combat. With stunning graphics and one of the best soundtracks in the genre, it's a shining example of everything that made the first golden age of JRPGs so special. Despite being available on mobile devices and PCs, it's long overdue for a console port and remains one of the most enjoyable and polished JRPGs ever created. Live Alive. Live Alive, a classic Super NES RPG developed by Square, has long been a favorite among fans, but has only been available in English through unofficial fan translations. However, with the recent HD 2D remake for the Nintendo Switch, players can now experience the game in its full glory. This unique RPG features an anthology-style narrative, allowing players to choose from multiple characters, each with their own distinct story, setting, and plot to explore. From ancient Japan to the distant future, from the Wild West to a modern-day wrestling tournament, it takes players on a journey through a diverse range of settings, showcasing the genre's versatility and appeal. With an incredible score by Yoko Shimomura, the game offers not just one journey, but multiple experiences and lifetimes worth of adventure. Final Fantasy V. Final Fantasy V, considered by many as the secret best installment in the series, took many years to finally reach a Western audience. It was first officially released in 1999 as part of the Final Fantasy anthology for the PlayStation. Despite the delay, the game has amassed a passionate fanbase, with a yearly fundraising event, the Final Fantasy V 4-Job Fiesta, challenging players to complete the game using only 4 randomly determined jobs. Recently, it was remastered and released as part of Square Enix's Pixel Remaster series, available on Steam, iOS, and Android, offering a modern and accessible version of the game for both fans and newcomers. The evolution of the trademark Final Fantasy job system, paired with its replayability and creative canvas, make it a must-play for RPG fans. Final Fantasy XIII. Final Fantasy XIII, despite receiving mixed reviews upon its initial release, is a game worth revisiting. The high expectations set by its predecessors, being the first Final Fantasy of the HD era, may have contributed to its less than stellar reception. However, viewed with a fresh perspective, Final Fantasy XIII offers a stunning world, an exceptional combat system, and an underrated soundtrack. Separated from the expectations, 13 is an intriguing experience that showcases Square Enix's transition to the HD era and its growing pains. Romancing Saga 3. Despite being one of the Super NES's most visually impressive games, Romancing Saga 3, a product of the creative mind of Akitoshi Kawazu, was not given the chance to shine in the West as it was released late in the console's lifecycle. This masterpiece of pixel art graphics and non-linear storytelling, along with its ties to the Game Boy's Final Fantasy Legends series, is a game that deserves to be rediscovered. The recent HD remaster allows players to experience the vast world and expressive graphics in a whole new way. Though not for everyone, the works of Akitoshi Kawazu are a fascinating exploration of the outer reaches of the JRPG genre, pushing the boundaries of what the genre can be. Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age. This is the ultimate version of one of the best games in the series. With the inclusion of new content from the previously Japan-exclusive Final Fantasy XII International Zodiac job system, players can enjoy a revamped license board and a whole new job system. Final Fantasy XII's already gorgeous art design is further enhanced by HD graphics, and it's now available on modern consoles. It is known for its serious story, classic characters, and incredible soundtrack. Additionally, the game's pseudo-open world and MMORPG-style combat system, incorporating basic logic programming via the Gambit system, makes for a memorable and unique experience in the series. Suikoden I and II. I know it's not out yet, but I really need to mention it. The Suikoden series, known for its unique storytelling approach focusing on politics and a massive cast of characters, is set to make a comeback with the release of Suikoden I and II HD Remaster, Gate Rune and Dunin Unification Wars in 2023. Despite not having the most impressive gameplay or visuals upon its initial release in 1996, the series introduced a new style of storytelling to the genre, and its epic nature has yet to be matched by many other games. After years of uncertainty, Konami's announcement of the remaster has reignited interest in the series, and a new generation of fans will have the opportunity to discover the captivating world of Suikoden. There are many fantastic games from the past that are now available for new players to enjoy thanks to remasters. However, did you know that there are still plenty of excellent games on older consoles that are now considered classics and legends? One such console is the PS1, which holds a treasure trove of great JRPGs waiting to be discovered. If you're interested in learning more about them, check out our ultimate list of JRPGs.